Here's a script for a 3-5-minute YouTube video on the topic. Why the Syria conflict is a perfect example of geopolitics gone wrong. Did you know that Syria's war has actually been secretly controlled by foreign powers for years? The Syria conflict is one of the most complex and frustrating examples of geopolitics gone wrong. It's a case where multiple countries with competing interests have manipulated the situation to suit their own agendas. The result? A decade-long conflict that's left over 500,000 people dead and millions more displaced. Let me tell you a story. In 2011, when the Syrian protests first broke out, the US and its allies were quick to jump in and support the rebels. But what they didn't reveal was that they were secretly backing extremist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS. These groups were actually the ones doing most of the fighting, and the US was using them to weaken the Assad regime. But here's the thing. Assad was never the real enemy. He was just a puppet, and the real masterminds behind the conflict were the oil-rich Gulf states and the US. They were playing a game of proxy war, using the rebels to weaken Assad and gain control over Syria's oil resources. It's a perfect example of how geopolitics can go horribly wrong. When countries prioritize their own interests over the lives of ordinary people, the consequences are catastrophic. And that's exactly what happened in Syria. The war has only made the country more unstable and created a power vacuum that's been exploited by extremist groups. So what can we learn from this disaster? The lesson is clear. Geopolitics is a game that's meant to be played by the powerful, not the people. But we can't just sit back and let the powerful continue to manipulate global events. We need to be aware of the games being played and demand change. If you're as fascinated by the world of geopolitics as I am, then subscribe to my channel. I'll be sharing more stories like this one and exposing the shocking truths behind the world's most complex conflicts. Don't miss out. Subscribe if you don't want to miss the next one.